ash, agrimony, birch catkin, blackberry flower, blackberry, bee orchid. About 25 years ago, we got the chance to buy an acre of previously agricultural land from the local farmer, and we planted it with wildflower seed. And over time, what's grown up has been an amazing biodiversity of plants and the animals and insects that they support. During COVID, a friend asked if she could come and forage some of the plant material in the meadow at midsummer because she was doing a natural dyeing process. And when she showed me the colours that she'd achieved, I was just blown away, and it made my heart sing. Corn buttercup, creeping buttercup, creeping thistle. For many, many years, maybe 30 years, I've been working in monochrome, and I've been wanting to use colour again. But it may sound strange, but I was terrified of using colour. And I thought, yes, it's a gift. I can use these colours. So I started documenting all the things that grew in the meadow: flowers, grasses, fungi, native hedge and trees. Creeping buttercup, creeping cinquefoil, crane's bill, creeping thistle. Foraging a little bit of it, a bit of bark or a bit of fungi, and then making a pigment, a distilled pigment or dye. And I was dyeing paper and silk, and it was like an amazing record. It went on for several years, and I got more and more excited about it. And then it started morphing into the idea of making art from it, making collages using silk and paper. And then, because I'm a ceramicist mostly, it occurred to me that I might try and use the pigment on ceramic. Self-heal, sage, teasel, tufted vetch. I was using a textile-based process and transferring it onto ceramics. It probably has been done somewhere, but not to my knowledge. Thistle, white clover, yellow archangel, yarrow, yellow rattle, yellow oxeye, fodder vetch. What I discovered was that in the process, whatever I was foraging, and I only took a material that grew in this acre, nothing around, that whatever time of day or time of the week or so on, I foraged the material, I would get a different kind of colour. So the colours aren't constant, they're forever changing. January, February, I can forage things which give me kind of browns and fawns, and then as it moves into the spring, the colours become merging into green, and then the green becomes more vibrant into yellow, and then the yellow becomes more and more vibrant and starts moving into the berries in the autumn. So from the berries that I forage, I get much more blues, reds, pinks, purples, and then of course it'll die back again into the winter, and then it all starts again. My year is fueling the way I'm working. I don't feel I finished it yet. I feel it's a kind of journey and a learning process, and it's kind of slightly addictive, because it's seasonal, and I have to perhaps wait, another 6 months before I'll get some wild privet berries. There's beautiful rhythm to it, a beautiful cyclical relationship with it that's really, I found, quite profound. Spear thistle, sorrel, slowberry, sickleberry, snowy waxcap mushroom, snowdrops, stitchwort, smooth hawksbeard, spotted orchid, spotted dead nettle, sheep's fescue.